They told me Karachi wasn't the place for a b-boy. They told me parkour was just jumping off the walls for no reason. But here's the truth. The same discipline it takes to land a backflip is the same discipline it takes to close a ₹1,000,000 sale. Hi, I'm Dwayne Lucas, and I've spent my life turning difficulties into done. From the streets to the boardroom, I've realized one thing. If you believe small, you stay small. This show isn't just about my story, it's about yours. We're talking about life, business, and the relentless pursuit of passion. I've seen so many people around me with incredible talent, but they're all paralyzed by the what if. What if I fail? What if people laugh? I've been a trainer, an artist, a salesman, and a strategist. I found my passion in dance, but I realized my power when I realized that being an artist is about loving the grind. I learned sales not because I loved the money, but because I wanted a better life and I refused to let my circumstances define my ceiling. I've helped people change their lives before, and now I want to do it on a global scale, regardless of the haters, regardless of the noise. My philosophy? It's pretty simple, actually. When you focus on the positive, there's nothing you can't achieve. That sounds cliche until you've lived it. In parkour, if you look at the ground, you hit the ground. You have to look at the landing. And in sales, if you focus on rejection, you don't get the deal. You have to focus on the value. I'm here to tell you that your passion isn't a hobby, it's a fuel. I'm here to help you bridge the gap between being a dreamer and being a doer. I might change the world, or I might fail. But the one thing I will never do is live my life wondering what if. If you're ready to stop thinking small and start moving with purpose, then hit the subscribe button. We're going to talk about the things no one else is talking about. How to turn your art into business and your passion into a legacy. This is the first step. Let's get to work. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. I think before we consider giving the show a name, it's more important that you understand the reason why I'm here. I have been doing sales for over 10 years and I've been doing dance for over 15. This year, 2025, has really made me realize a lot of things. It has showed me a different lesson. It has made me understand life a whole lot better. And I think this time I want to try and do something a little bit better with what I'm good at, And it's not just about being sales. It's not just about dance. It's about understanding a mentality that I think everybody in Pakistan or even out of Pakistan need to start adapting to. I'm not saying that I'm the only one with it, because I've met people who have a similar mindset and a similar mentality. But I think I have the skill to put it to a camera and to put it to a mic. And I think that's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm not scared of the hate comments. I mean, if you meet me in person, you'll think, really, why would you even? But it's just general. I don't care about the haters anymore. That kind of goes against my philosophy of looking at the positive. If I'm able to even inspire one person from this entire journey I'm about to go on with you guys, and if even one of you people, I would say, wakes up and says, "Wow, yaar, is bande ne baat to bahut achhi ki hai," I think wahan pe we'll succeed. So it's about setting a community. It's about having a lot of people come together and just realize कि यार ठीक है यार, इस एक बंदे की सुन लेते हैं थोड़ी सी. बहुत सारे लोग मुझे अकेले में मिलते हैं, बोलते हैं यार डुएन यार तुमसे बात करनी थी एक. If the amount of times I cannot tell you that people have said यार डुएन तुमसे बात करनी है, made me feel कि यार शायद बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग होंगे जिन्होंने बात करनी है. शायद मेरी एक छोटी सी समझ की वजह से किसी दूसरे बंदे की आइडियोलॉजी चेंज हो सकती है, तो क्यों ना करें. बात तो सही है. तो I think we're gonna have a lot of fun on this journey. This is episode 1, and okay, so before we get into the whole phase of what it is that we're going to talk about and what it is that we're going to do throughout this podcast, I want to give you a little bit of an example of what I'm talking about. And that's a picture right there of me sitting and going, what if I lose? Or what if I crash? Or what if I just generally, don't win? And I think a long time ago, going into a particular mental state was something that I used to do with not just my battles, but when I walked into work every day, when I decided to close a pretty big day in the office, or when I say that, that I need to hit a sales number specifically, I tell myself prior to the start, if it doesn't happen, what changes? And I set into that mindset of failure. And I realized from that mindset of failures that even my belief won't allow me to think that that's small. If I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail, no problem. It won't change who I am. It won't change the way I need to see things. But if I win, it changes so much around me. Am I ready for that kind of change? And that's the question I have with myself 90% of the time. So the outcomes, they're amazing. I'll tell you a story about similarly this picture by showing you a video. And that video is right here. So I'm going to play Watch Taishi's face.
You do it! You do it!
Damn. This was a battle. Before the count. Nice. Okay, so I think this is where I want to explain to you why I'm really here. Because you see, in that video, or before that battle, the fear, I didn't dance for a long time. I was going up against, I think, the best dancers in the whole city when it comes to hip hop, and it was a lineup of insane. It was called Seven to Smoke of the Legends because there were all of the best, I would say, dancers like Nucky Nix and Taishi and Mikhail, and and it felt like, dude, I don't even know whether I could still do this anymore because I haven't been dancing in a while. I've moved into a different field, and I was so shocked. I was so lost. And I realized one simple thing. I said, yeah, you know what? What's the worst that could ever happen? I couldn't do much. But I went for it. And I gave everything. And then I realized very recently, and I say this because 2025 brought me all the way back to picking up the biggest question. Why did I dance? I danced to express. I danced to feel good. I danced because I didn't care about how good I was or how many competitions I'm about to win, or whether this was a competitive sport, or whether this was something that had to go to a bloody Olympics, or I had to decide to win a competition. No, I danced because I loved to be free. I danced because it made me feel good, So that's exactly what I did. And I'm so glad that I could come back to videos like this, because if you guys go back to my IG and you see the other battles that I had to, you'll notice I got a little bit of a belly, and I was a little bit overweight, and I wasn't really in my fields, you know what I'm saying? But I loved the fact that I was able to finally do the one thing that I love, and undeniably while doing that, I gave other people a reason to believe. Like when I see faces get inspired by me doing things that they didn't expect me to do, some faces are out of jealousy, some faces are out of inspiration. I don't really care. I'm more happy that I was able to inspire somebody, or I was able to tell somebody that even they could do it. And that's genuinely who I am. That's genuinely who I like to be. Whether I'm in a sales training or in a sales meeting, I'll never tell a seller that he's not built for it. I'll tell him he's not trying hard enough. I'll never tell a dancer that they're not gonna be able to do it someday. I'll tell them they gotta work a lot harder. Everybody wants it the easy way. Nobody wants to get it the way you got it, or the way other people who are really good at that particular skill set and talent got it. People are jealous of what you have, not how you got it, right? And I think that's where it kind of contradicts the ideology for a lot of us, where we either see the other person and we say, hey, he's doing this and he's doing that, but we don't ask ourselves that simple question is, how did he do it? And I think it's about damn time anybody that asks me, hey Dwayne, how'd you go from just being an average seller to somebody that reshapes the way you do business? Or bro, how'd you get growth that fast? Or dude, how did you go ahead and get the option to MC the national cipher of Pakistan? Because there's so many other MCs and so many other people that were doing it better. Right place, right time, I guess. Right kind of people to vouch for me, I guess. Right kind of community to be in, I guess. Or just generally because I love what I do. And it's something that I feel like a lot of people who know me, my friends, my family, colleagues I've worked with, when you watch me do this every week, know that I'm going to be referencing you. Know that I'm going to bring you up at some particular point. And I think you probably want to know how I feel about you, or generally what I think I've learned from you, or where you were in the life lessons that I've learned. I think that's worth subscribing and following for, I guess. And I think you're already following me. That makes it even better, because I get to tell you how much I appreciate the person that you are and the person that you are going to help me become. God sends people in your life to heal you, to hurt you, to teach you, and to make you the person you were meant to be. So for the people I'm going to meet, for the people that I've already met, for the people I might reconnect with, or for the stories I'm about to tell you, it's going to be fun, because you never know what each episode is going to unlock for me. But the best part is you're never going to know what each episode unlocks for you. Every week I'm going to take out one video, and that one video is going to be 30 minutes long, where we're going to talk about situations, and I'm going to be posting every week, every day on Instagram, to ask you guys. And I'm going to be looking for a person that's going to give me a really good question to talk about, a really good topic to indulge in. I'm going to bring a lot of people on here that I'm going to sit and interview, and we're going to have conversations, and I'm going to bring you in on some of the conversations I have with the most inspiring people that I've sat with. People who, when originally started, didn't know where they were going to go, but today they're booming and they're blowing up, and I cannot tell you how happy that makes me for them. If there's genuinely somebody you want to follow, या ऐसे बोल लेते हैं कि अगर आप लोगों को वो वाला बंदा चाहिए, या आप उस बंदे को ढूंढ रहे हो online, in the studio, who's just genuinely going to appreciate what you do in life, then hit that follow button and let's get started.